Hello everyone, welcome. My name is Sofia. Welcome to this channel. If you are new, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you keep updated with new films, new videos that will help you in this journey of learning Portuguese. So let's get started, and today I want to talk about Conjuntivo. Conjuntivo is one of those mind breakers that come to students when they are around B1 level. So if you are not familiar with the with the Common European Framework for language levels, here it is, a scheme, how it works. So basically we have a level which is beginner to intermediate, and then B1, B2, until C level, which is intermediate to fluent. So when you are starting to learn the language, you will be presented with some conjugations that belong to the group of Indicativo. So saying this, you have Indicativo and you have Conjuntivo. So only when you are at B1, B2 level, you will find and we will meet Conjuntivo. So if you are just starting, don't worry, this will be more for you to know what's coming ahead. If you are already there, I'm gonna help you to try to deconstruct this. So if you are starting, you will start by learning Indicativo, and inside of Indicativo we have presente, passado e futuro. So we have all the conjugations of present, past, and future. So we learn this, we practice this in the classes, and then when we get to B1 level, when we are attaining to become fluent, we will meet Conjuntivo. And this is when things get harder for the majority of students. Because when we find Conjuntivo, it's like a new Indicativo, meaning again you will find new conjugations of present, of past, and future, but most likely you will be using present and future. So saying this, we will find Indicativo at the beginning of our journey. We will learn present, past, and future, and some other conjugations in this form, and then when we are like intermediate to fluent, we will find Conjuntivo. Some people call it Subjuntivo, but this is more of a Brazilian perspective. When we look to European Portuguese, we call it Conjuntivo. So about Conjuntivo. Conjuntivo is a specific way of speaking that we use in Portuguese to talk about things that aren't certain or definite. So we use it to express actions or desires or doubts or uncertainty. So when we use Conjuntivo, we will use in a sentence like, I hope you come tomorrow. Eu espero que venhas amanhã. So when we look at this sentence, eu espero que venhas amanhã, venhas is a conjugation of Conjuntivo. So now I'm gonna help you to start deconstructing Conjuntivo. So when we meet Conjuntivo in a sentence, we will most of the times notice that the sentences are divided in two parts. So we have the main part of the sentence and the subordinate part of the sentence. So the main part of the sentence is the main idea of the sentence. The subordinate part is what adds more information or explains something about the main part. So here is the main tip. I consider this to be like the most important thing about Conjuntivo, is that most of the times and generally we will use certain words like que, that means that, para que, that means so that, and se, that means if, to connect these two parts of the sentences. So this is why when you see sentences made with conjuntivo, we have these tiny words there like se, if, para que, or que, and they are there, but now I want to switch you the perspective and I want you to really use them as your helpers, because they are the ones who's gonna tell you and help you to notice, oh, here I need to use conjuntivo. So let's see an example together. And let's see the example that I was just giving at the beginning of my explanation. And I was saying, eu espero que venhas amanhã. I hope that you come tomorrow. So notice, particularly in this sentence, we have eu espero, which is the main part of the sentence, que, which is this helper, this word that I really want you to keep in mind, and then the conjugation of conjuntivo, venhas. Eu espero que venhas. So this is one example. Another part that can happen is that this connector, the subordinate, will be at the beginning of the sentence, but it follows the same logic. So the first sentence I say eu espero que venhas. Let's say if you come, se vieres, eu espero por ti. So now we switch the order of the sentence, but we didn't switch where the verb in conjunctive is and where the helper is. We just put it at the beginning. Still there. That's why I really want and incentivize people to pay attention to these tiny words, because they often are there for conjunctive. I would say in 98% of the times you will find the little helpers before the conjugation of conjuntivo, and they are there to help you remember, oh, if it's there, if the word se is there, it means I will add conjuntivo after. So in short, conjuntivo help us to express uncertainty and subjectivity in our sentences. And specific words that I'm giving you, and I'm calling them the little helpers. And I'm calling them the little helpers because so many people struggle to know when to use conjuntivo, and in my opinion, the little helpers are the key for you to know. So let's see the example. Eu espero que venhas amanhã. So we identify the main clause, which is eu espero. So this is the main part of the sentence. Eu espero. And then we identify the subordinate clause, which is que venhas amanhã. So the subordinate part is the additional information, is the context of the main clause. Eu espero is the main clause. Que venhas amanhã is the subordinate, is the context, is the information. So the main clause expresses the desire or the hope, while the subordinate clause explains what the speaker hopes for. So the desire, eu espero, or the hope, eu espero. The subordinate, the context, what explains what the speaker wants, que venhas amanhã. And so together we form one sentence that expresses what the speaker hopes for a specific event or action in the future. Eu espero que venhas amanhã. So at this point of the explanation, you are perhaps wondering to yourself, Okay, I understand I have a main clause and I understand I have a subordinate clause. But how do I know the difference between what I learned in the beginning, the indicativo, and the conjuntivo? So, two things here. First, indicativo, this is what we learn at the beginning, expresses facts. There is no doubts. This indicativo expresses facts. I want something, I did something, I will do something. Conjuntivo, this is also why it's something we learn later on our progress of learning the language. Conjuntivo speaks about hypotheses. So it speaks about things that are uncertain. This is the main separation between indicativo, what we learn in the beginning, and conjuntivo, what we learn later. Second thing, still, people when they start speaking, they will find difficulties because in many languages there is no such thing. So they will want to use what they learned in the beginning, the present, past, or future of indicativo to express this. But this is not the correct way. The correct way would be using conjuntivo. And so think about if I'm saying something like, if I go to the beach, I will do something. This is already an hypothesis. Second thing, it has a little helper. It has se. So what I really recommend you is to focus on the list of the little helpers, because they will tell you straightforward, if I'm using this little helper, I'm expressing something. This something is hypothesis, so I need to conjugate in conjuntivo. The second part is to learn the conjugations of conjuntivo. They are much less than indicativo. So for conjuntivo we have presente, pretérito imperfeito e futuro. So in real life scenarios we use conjuntivo when we want to express desires, or when we want to give an advice or express a doubt. So I will give you one example for a real life scenario. Espero que tenhas bom dia. I hope that you have a good day. We are using conjuntivo here. It is not an hypothesis, but it is a hope. So it goes back to what I was just talking about. Plus the fact that again we have there the little helper, que. Another example about giving an advice. Recomendo que estudes mais. I recommend that you study more. Again, we are using conjuntivo. This is about giving an advice, but once again we have the little helper, que estudes mais. So I hope this helps, and feel free to leave any comments or feedback or questions about these videos. Once again, know that you are very welcome to drop in the comment box any suggestion of a topic or a question that you would like me to clarify, and I hope to see you soon. I hope this helps, and really good luck on this journey. Obrigada, adeus e até a próxima!